kind of like mini problems in one big problem. So instead of finding just one area of a square, it's of a cube, so you have to multiply it by 6. Okay, so it's just like finding multiple areas instead of just one. And then volume, which you guys will love because it's just like times height. Okay, so that's really all we're doing this chapter. But the first section is on surface area of prisms and cylinders. So let's just get a definition down for surface area. And all you're doing is you're adding up the areas of all your faces of the surface of your object. So if I wanted to figure out how much plastic it took to build this little pencil box, I'd have to find the area of the top, the bottom, and then the 4 sides and add it up, and that would be a surface area. Okay? So the big difference is all of our shapes now are 3-dimensional, so you can actually hold them. It's not just a flat thing on a piece of paper.
That's kind of sketching me out.
It's, yeah, these can really kind of, you can see in different ways. It's hard sometimes to know what's going on. And your lateral area, guys, is just not the base area. So it's everything besides your base area. So whatever's not your base is your lateral area. If we wanted to practice what was on that purple sheet from Friday, how would you name these prisms down here?
Hexagonal prism.
Hexagonal prism. What's the main difference between a prism and a pyramid?
A pyramid is on itself.
Yeah, it comes to a peak, right? Like think of the pyramids in Giza, they all come to a peak. Okay.
But I didn't get like on the homework when it said like it like cut the shape in half or something like that.
The cross section.
And then it was like describe what's going on.
Like what shape was like dashed inside there? Like was it a circle? Was it a rectangle?
Oh.
So on the first one, I think it's a circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's try to find one of these surface areas. This is about as basic as it gets, a rectangular prism. If we first start with our base area, I'm just going to abbreviate with the BA. And it helps me if I trace it out. So what are the dimensions of that bottom rectangle?
9 by 4.
9 by 4. Which is 36. And can we agree that the top and bottom are the exact same?
Yeah.
So I can take 36 times 2. I'm actually going to highlight them. So now my base area is 72. And now we need to find the lateral area, the walls that build it up. Let's start with this front wall. What are the dimensions of that front wall?
6.
So 9 times 6. 54. Then can we agree that front and that back wall are the exact same? So 54 times 2. Where did I lose you?
Oh, never mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And then we have our left and right walls, which measure what?
Height.
6 by 4. And there's 2 of those guys that are the same. So it's 24 times 2. 48. So now when I find my total surface area, we just add those 3 numbers up.
So
228. 228. So just break your figure into things you know how to find the area of and add it up. That's all we're doing today. But again, the hardest part is that it's three-dimensional. It's kind of hard to see those things. Okay, try triangular prism now. Yeah. Triangle prism. So if we start with our base shape, which is the triangle.
So you can do base times height and then not divided by 2 since there's 2.
Right. I'm still going to divide it by 2 just because some of you might get a lot. You do that because that works for you, but not for everyone. But absolutely. What's the base and height of that triangle?
12.
Right. So I'm going to take half 12 times 12. So that's our formula for a triangle. So half of 144 is 72. And I know both those bases are the exact same. So 72 times 2 is 144.
So why couldn't you just do
But you could.
You could.
like half?
You could. As long as you remember that's for a triangle. But you could. And then we have 3 rectangles, right, guys? That build up the walls.
Yes.
So let's start with this bottom one. What are the dimensions of that bottom rectangle?
12 times 8.
What is 12 times 8?
96.
96. This left wall is,
96.
right, that's 12 times 8 again. Yeah, and then this slanted one's kind of tricky, because do I know this length right here?
No.
So we do have to do Pythagorean theorem.
12 squared plus 12 squared.
So it's pretty much 17.
Yep, I agree. So we'll get 144. Then square root of 288, and he counts as about 17.
It's
17 where? 16, I think it's like 16.98 or something. Yeah. So now if we want to find that
So it would be 8 times 17.
8 times 17, yep. Which is what?
1,
36, yep.
and you would add up.
Yep, then we gotta add all 4 of these numbers up.
4, 6.
Or 72?
Yes.
You guys are so fast. Is anyone lost? Or are you going too fast? So now we're going to switch gears to a cylinder, but you'll like these because there's a formula for it that works every single time.
Is it like it's like a circle, isn't it? You use a circle and then you use the height.
Yep.
And then you do some weird stuff.
So he's right. If I want to find our base area, what's my base shape?
A circle.
How do you find the area of a circle?
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. But how many circles are there?
2.
So I'm going to take that times 2. So that's our base area. And then what shape are we left with here? If we unravel this. A rectangle. How do you find the area of a rectangle?
Base times height.
So we know our height,
Boom.
but how are we going to figure out this base length?
It's the diameter.
It's their circumference. Look, it wraps all the way around the circle. What is that called? Circumference. How do we find circumference?
2 pi r.
What?
Pi
Wait,
r
what?
times your height. This distance here wraps all the way around that circle, so it's your circumference. That's how long this is.
But that's not the height of it.
No, this is your height.
Oh,
That's
that
the
makes
length.
sense. Oh, I was thinking that was the height.
That's your formula. I don't know if it will help you if you put, this is your base area, That's your lateral area. But that's your formula. It's nice. You can just plug it in our calculator and it gives us the answer. So if we want to find the surface area of this cylinder, we just have to plug in. So let's first determine what is our radius. 7.5. What's our height? 18. Now we just plug in. So 2 pi 7.5 squared. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a second and you figure out how, if you're going to type that whole thing into your calculator or if you want to break it down step for step. And we'll just kind of see if we get to the same answer. So ultimately it's just calculator work.
So the cylinder ones are really easy, but it's just
Right. Yeah, you just plug in every time.
so you just need really know two things.
That's it. Yep, you just plug it in. Pretty close?
Oh, we were grounded to one. You want that?
You can do whatever you want. I mean, either or. Either or. Anyone not get close to that? Then we're going to end with kind of a doozy. It's kind of hard. But it's good practice for Algebra 2. Okay?
Algebra.
Yep. You'll be thankful that we kind of reviewed this a little bit this year for next year. So we are looking for the diameter of a base of our cylinder if the surface area is 464 pi, and we are given the height is 21 centimeters. So really we're working backwards to find our radius. We all love to work backwards. So let's start off with our formula. So we're looking for our radius. And I know it equals 464 pi. So we want to make this as simple as possible. So what do all of these have in common?
Pi.
So let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of the pi. Just divide everything by a pi, because everything has a pi. You get a pi, and you get a pi.
I had a pie on Friday.
Ooh, what kind?
Remember that? I brought it in.
Oh yeah. Did you get sick? Oops, no pie anymore.
You brought in the walls at London Marine.
So all we did there was get rid of our pi, right? Now, I have a 2 and a 2. Is this divisible by 2?
Yeah.
Let's divide by 2 now. Let's make them small. Divide everything by a 2. Is it okay if I bring my 21 to the front now, in front of my arm? Am I going to confuse anyone there?
Oh, the heights.
Yeah, because we know our height's 21. And now this is where it gets hard. So this is a quadratic function because it has an r squared. So actually, this is what it would look like if you were to graph it.
That's not a
It's
circle.
exciting. No, it's not a circle. It's a parabola.
Mm.
Does anyone remember what we had to set this equal to solve a quadratic?
0.
0. So we have to bring this guy over here. Yep, so we'll have r squared plus 21 r minus 232.
Wait, but then what?
So now you can either use the quadratic formula, factor it, or graph it. This one's actually really nice because you can factor it. And some of you have seen this and some of you are like, what is she talking about? So in my first box, I had to think what times what's going to get me r squared? An r and an r. Okay, what's the only way to multiply to a negative number? A plus and a minus, yep.
I hate this.
I know,
Money.
I know.
This is fun.
This
is the
We're almost done though. We're almost. It is the worst. Okay, now you're thinking what multiplies to 232 but has a difference of 21. So just in your calculator, it's guess and check. Take 232 divided by 4. Does it work? Nope. Okay, then try 6 or try 10.
Yeah, there's so much plugging in.
It's just guess and check. But this one works out nice.
I'm gonna guess
58 and 4.
54.
I'm gonna guess.
But though, what's 58 minus 4? Not 21.
I'm guessing
I'm
20.
gonna guess 29 and 8.
So Gabe found it.
Called it.
232 divided by 8 is 29. What's 29 minus 8?
21.
And that's what we wanted.
Wait, so what?
So 29 goes here.
Oh, I guess
8 goes there.
Oh, that's.
Then how do we finish it up? Anyone remember?
It's r plus 29 equals 0 and r minus 8.
Yeah, we put them equal to 0.
It's just gonna be fun.
Oh my goodness. I ran out of room.
I know. I just really missed you guys over the weekend and want to spend some quality time taking notes.
I do not.
But which of these doesn't make sense for our problem?
Negative 29.
Can I have a height of negative 29, whatever, centimeters?
It's just 29.
No. So it'll be 8.
What if they both make
What's
Well,
that?
you're out of luck.
What if they both make
You see the curve?
They won't.
Yeah, I did.
It's just not how math works.
And then if our radius is 8, what's our diameter though?
16.
Wait, crap.
That's our real answer.
Yeah, picture of this.
Right.
You take a picture of that. Can you too?
Please tell me this is not how we
I don't remember. I think I really missed you guys and I wanted to do homework together. Our notes. Yep, I can do whatever. Tell me more.
Yeah.
The jellyfish letter.
Yeah, that.
Is this okay? You sure can.
So good at homework.
And it has to, like, I'm not the same one twice.
Why didn't you do more worksheet? Also, like
More worksheets? I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, probably the fastest.
You missed the test. Well, what did you do any of the reviews? Oops,